Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Average Movie Review Podcast. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be reviewing episode 4 of The Last of Us Season 2. This episode was very action packed, and it also introduced us to two new characters, one being the Prophet and one being Isaac, who is very pivotal, if you've played the game, to the story. Actually, I don't know if it's pivotal, but who plays a pretty major role in the game as well. You have also Ellie and Dina on their journey through Seattle, looking for any of the people that have worked with Abby, and trying to find where Abby is as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Like, holy crap, this episode was actually pretty intense, but also very beautiful at the same time. And the reason why I say it's beautiful is I want to give a huge shout out to the production team and the set team who created the sets and the visual effects team and everything, because this show is beyond beautiful. Like, it's like they ripped scenes right from the game and they put it into the show. And they've done it so well that it's like it literally feels so real while you're watching it. I can't keep my eyes off the show. Like, literally, it is beautiful. The setting, everything, like the rundown buildings, the grass growing, all of that stuff. Like, everything is done so beautifully. One particular scene that stood out to me was that I felt like I was replaying the video game again, actually. Um, Actually, two scenes. First one being when Ellie was playing the guitar, and the way that they led up to it, the way that the sun was shining, everything. It was just perfect. It looked exactly from the game, carbon copy, like one to one. So amazing. And that scene itself, her singing "Take Me On," was amazing. And the second scene, obviously, is the scene in the trains where they're running, and trying to get away from the infected. That scene again, it felt like I was playing the game again. The intensity of like them having to walk around quietly and then trying to escape, and then once the infected find out where they are, then they have to run out, just like how you do it in the game as well. So again, beautifully, beautifully done set design, everything. Even when they come out and they find the theater, like, it doesn't feel like they're on a set, which is so crazy to say, but it doesn't look like to me that they're on a set, although I know they are. And there's like green screens everywhere. To me, it feels like they're actually in a war torn Seattle. So kudos to them for that. This episode also introduced us to two new characters, one being Isaac and the Prophet, both who have major roles in the video game as well. We get to see how Isaac left Fedra, and then joined the Prophet, and then also created WLF, where we got a hint of his backstory as well, and how intense he is, right? Like, the interrogation scene was absolutely wild. But again, bringing this character in, like, just that two scenes that he was in, I think he was only in about two scenes. You've already established a character so well, and they do that so beautifully, and it's only like the first 10 minutes, and they do it so nicely that like you won't forget who he is. So again, amazing job on that part. We only get a glimpse of the Prophet, not too much is said about her. All we know is her and Isaac went separate ways due to something, I guess. So there has to be a reason for it. I assume maybe she was just too radical for him and whatever, or maybe he was too radical for her. Could be absolutely anything, either or. Another thing I wanted to also say was that I was I don't know why, but I felt like um, Bella Ramsey did a phenomenal job in this episode, and the reason why, like, if you've heard, sorry, my last episode, I mentioned how I felt like Bella was getting outshined every time by Isabella, or like, by Dina. But in this episode, I just felt like Bella did such an amazing job as playing Ellie, and I felt like I was watching more of Ellie, and she looked a little bit more like Ellie. Like, you could tell between those two, between the last episode and this episode, there has been a change in Bella, as a person. Like, maybe there was like a certain amount of time had passed before they shot the episode, and you could see she seemed a little bit more Ellie-like to me, and she acted more like Ellie too. So I think this was a highlight for me, for in terms of her acting. Like, I think she kind of like finally kind of grew into the character. So great job on that. Dina, played by Isabella Mercedes, amazing as always. Never misses a beat. Always does everything correctly. So she's fantastic. Another good scene, or not good scene, but I think kind of it could have been better, was the big pregnancy reveal. Right in the game, Ellie has a very different reaction, and then in the show, it's like just led up to their kind of moment, which I think takes away a little bit of the story. I feel like maybe they didn't have to rush into what they had done. Like we already knew it was going to happen regardless, but it didn't have to rush into it the way that they did. But they did what they did. It is what it is. So you can't really say anything about it. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity. And yeah, and now they finally have a heading towards Nora. So they're probably next episode we're gonna get to see Ellie versus Nora, and then maybe we get to see her take out a few more as well as she goes along. So overall, really good episode. I would give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Lots and lots of action. Don't get me wrong. In the tower where they fight. Sorry, guys, it's birthday. The WLF, and then the infected scene, and then Isaac's whole thing. Like a lot of it was intense. So great job there, and I assume that this is how the next few episodes are going to be because there's only a few episodes left. So I can't imagine them not really upping the game at this point. So it's going to be probably something like this or a little bit closer to it. So it'll be interesting how they're going to be able to incorporate Abby into the next few episodes because part of the game's whole thing is that you not only get to play Ellie's side of the story, but you also get to live through Abby's side of the story, and that's why you kind of maybe by the end of the game understand the reasons or you kind of sympathize with her, right? Like that's the whole point, that we only ever get to see one person's side of the story and we always taint the villain as a villain, but really maybe there's a reason why they're the villain, right? Maybe they're not a villain, maybe they are the hero in their own story, and maybe if you really look at it, they could be an actual hero. But because we're always so focused on the one hero that we're presented with, we don't look at the other person's perspective. So I don't know how they're going to incorporate that, but I do hope that they figure out a way soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. How do you feel? Do you think the show's on the right track? Are you enjoying it so far? I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, and I'll catch you on the next review. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.